Hi, welcome to the Modus Darts TV event at the Copthorne Hotel, and we're joined by Raymond van Barneveld. Raymond, thanks for joining us. First of all, one place to start, Dublin. I suppose bittersweet. It wasn't the best tournament for yourself.
No, it was. It's always an extra handicap and stressful game type. You know, hitting your first dart at a double, especially if you play against a throw and they open. So there's more stress to open them as well, because otherwise, if you miss 3 darts, it will be followed by a massive score. And nowadays, these guys are so good that they don't miss their double. You know. So for me, I had a good match against Ricky Evans and a brilliant 1-6-4 finish, but to come back 2 days later and play like a beginner, that was not nice. No.
Was it just frustrating for yourself that you couldn't find that level again?
It was weird. I started straight with a 112 and then followed by a 114 and couldn't win the first leg, and then it looks like my body started panicking, you know. And then Dave started to play well, you know, followed by his 180s. Dave is class, you know, and we all know that. So I couldn't come back. Frustrations then, and then suddenly at the end 3-0. So I wasn't happy at all. No.
No, I can imagine. There's a lot of talk at the moment about darts, about the rivalries in sport have gone. Have you missed the rivalries this year? Because obviously Phil going, it's only really you and Michael left as a rivalry.
Yeah, and Gary and Michael, not much left, to be honest. Barney, Phil was always the thing, and a lot of spectators and fans miss that, of course, and I miss it as well, of course. Yeah.
No, definitely. Obviously, slipped to world number 14 in the world now. Is that a concern for yourself heading into the business end of the season?
Of course, it's something to think about. You know, I have to defend a lot of money, £140,000 in the next 2-3 months. If I don't do well, I go out to the top 16, and we have to work hard in the next year. You know, so and if you drop out the top 16, you have to play. You don't play the match play or the Grand Prix or whatever. So you have to go back to the Pro Tours and Euro Tours. So that's what it is. You know. I hope I still can have a good run in the Worlds and the Grand Slam of Darts, because I'm not qualified for the Euros and the Players Championship finals. Choices. It's all about choices, and hopefully next year I'm going to play more.
You touched on it there. Obviously, missing 2 TV majors is a disappointment, but also, does it keep you fresh for the Worlds as well? Or is it a little bit of a double-edged sword?
The World is always different for me. You know, I always started focusing to the World Championship already now. You know, like I'm doing. Meditation and all. I'm already thinking about the World Championship, because it's the big thing on the calendar. You know, no other tournament in the world compares to that one. Everyone's watching, everyone's sitting in front of their TVs for Christmas, and it's the best thing you can get in darts, and I know that, and I'm preparing myself every year very, very good and very hard to have a good result up there.
Have you changed your practice routine at all for the Worlds, or is it still the same? Do you intensify it?
I do always more. But the last 3 years I'm playing Michael, you know, so last 4 years, 3 times Michael van Gerwen, 1 time I beat him, and then got beat by Adrian Lewis, and then 2 times he beat me. One with when I averaged in 8 sets, I lost 6-2, averaging 109 average, you know, I still got beat. And then semi-finals last year, 5-4. It's close, but it's not enough, you know. Close is nice for the people who are watching at home, but at the end you still lose, you know. And when it's 5-1 or 5-4, it's still the 5 on the wrong side. So to avoid Michael, you don't want to be number 16 in the world. But if you be number 15, you got Peter, or you got Gary, or you got Rob. So they're all brilliant, you know. So you have to work hard, and hopefully you beat them, or you hope if someone else beat them before they get you.
We've got a double header in Rotterdam for the Premier League in 2008 onto 2019 again. Would you like to see one of the majors go to Holland or into Europe?
Of course, I think a tournament like Ireland. I see in Ireland for years that the figures of the people are dropping down. So why not like a big event in Holland? You know. I think that will be amazing. We have the Premier League and all the European tours, most of them in Germany, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I think my country, Holland, deserves like a big tournament in the Netherlands. For instance, the World Cup. You know, I won the World Cup 4 times now. 1 with Koos Stumpy and 3 times with Michael. So why not the winners organise the World Cup next year? Why not?
You touched on the atmosphere in Dublin. As a player, do you notice that when the crowd's not particularly great, do you notice the atmosphere is not as good as well?
You see the figures, you know. I'm used to play for huge crowds, you know, wherever I go in the Premier League, and you notice sometimes venues are selling less tickets. Even now, the tickets for the Rotterdam Premier League were out, I think, on today, and it was not a sellout like years before. You know, normally it was a complete sellout within 10 minutes, and I think there are still tickets available now.
The new darts as well, first time you've used them properly in a TV tournament in Dublin. How are they? Is there many adjustments to make with them as well?
I'm very pleased with them, but the thing is now you have to practice a lot, you know. But when you travel the world all the single times and travel from UK and back, and sometimes you need some rest as well. So you try to prepare yourself ready with those darts, because they are perfect. Target are the best they are, you know, and they're the best in the world. But at the end you have to work and you have to deal with it, you know, because you have to give it a chance, and sometimes it takes some time, and time you don't have, because if you want to play with them in a Grand Prix or whatever else, you know, they're all there to beat you. So they're not saying, oh, Ray's trying his new darts, we're going to play we're going to play less better than we normally do. So that's not it. So it's hard to get confidence in the setup. Yeah.
Have you decided on a weight? Because last time we spoke, you were trying two or three different weights.
Yesterday I used 21 gram, tonight as well. So, but we only play 3 or 4 legs. So, what can you say? You need pressure all the time. So we'll see. I know myself, my eyes are bad at the moment. I was blinking all the time in the Grand Prix. You know. The diabetes is not helping, so if you got more stress, especially when you play tournaments like an Ireland, when the stress factor is huge for a double opener, of course. So I noticed I was blinking my eyes more, so I couldn't focus right. So it was not my tournament, unfortunately, because the match play and the Grand Prix are ranked events. So I'm better off doing well in one of them than playing a World Series final or a Masters finals in January, because the money is always good, but it doesn't help you on the rankings, right?
Does that frustrate that you've done well in the invite tournaments and not so well in the ranked tournaments?
Yeah, of course. I won the World Cup, second in the Masters, second in Australia. That money is always welcome, but it's not helping you on the ranking system, so you stay where you are. Even that, you're dropping a place, because going prize won a euro too.
Even though you haven't done well in the ranked events, the fact that you haven't in the other ones must know your game's in a good place and you can still do well though.
Yeah, I know. But it's you know, normally when Raymond van Barneveld was at his best, to beat him in a best of 5 was a handful. To beat him in a best of 7 was almost impossible. To beat him in a best of 11, only the best in the world could do that. And now Raymond van Barneveld is winning sometimes a game 6-5 to his opponent. It's always 6-5, you know, 6-5 to them or 6-5 to me. And sometimes it makes you think, how on earth, you know, I don't know. But everyone is so good nowadays. They see what kind of money they can earn now. The money is perfect in our sport, you know. You can win £10,000 on a floor tournament, on a pro tour. So, and everyone is waking up, you know. Everyone sees what you can do if you play well, and everyone is fully focused on yourselves. And if you're doing every night exhibitions or other tournaments and a lot of traveling, you're vulnerable. That's true.
These great events that Modus put on, do you use them as match practice as well?
I try to as much as possible, but it will never ever be the same as a normal match. But I always approach it as a good start, you know, as a good practice. So even I play Phil or Michael or Vincent, doesn't matter. We always try to win, always, everyone.
Raymond, absolute pleasure. Thanks for speaking to us here at Modus. Thank you.